Didn't know today would be our last, or that I'd have to say goodbye to you so fast. I'm so numb, I can't feel anymore. Praying you just walk back through that door and tell me that I was only dreaming. You're not really gone as long as I believe. There will be another angel around the throne tonight. Your love lives on inside of me, and I will hold on tight. I'm just jealous of the angels around the throne tonight. Always made my troubles feel so small, and you were always there to catch me when I'd fall. Heroes come and go. Well, gosh, just took the only one I know. So I'll hold you as close as I can, longing for the day when I see your face again. But until then, just jealous of the angels around the throne tonight. Sing hallelujah, hallelujah. I'm just jealous of the angel around the throne tonight.
Alright, everybody, there's some new information tonight, and it's hard to explain because I want everybody to hear it, and then after you guys hear this tape, you'll understand why I fight so hard for Mackenzie. And why she came to me and told me to tell her story. And I will warn everybody right now, you know, when you hear this tape and then you hear towards the end of it that, you know, I know what people are going to say, but if you can, please do not do any threats towards anybody. If you do, I have to remove you. This is very important to me about my daughter, and now it's even more important. I don't need to be shut down or gagged and cease and desist. I need this story out. And I'm just asking you as a father that, I don't care what you call her names. I don't care about none of that, but any direct threats, I have to delete you. I have to take you off the page. And there is people on there that's going to be watching, and if it happens, I just cannot let anything happen that could mess this up for me. And it's already hard enough from what I heard today as a father, that what happened to your child, the reason behind what happened to your child. And I think it's, I ain't even had time today to even, I don't think it's set in on me yet. Because one of the things I mainly do is I always try to share everything with the community. I've always said I would never hide nothing from anybody or the community. But I can tell you one thing, after you hear everything on this tape, you'll understand why there is a GoFundMe for Mackenzie. You'll understand why I have to do the things I gotta do. You guys are gonna hear stuff on this tape that is going to show you how something was said in the beginning. I didn't have the facts to back that up, so I ended that reason. I ended things being said because I didn't have the facts. Now I have the facts today, and I think when this is over with tonight, I think a lot of people will come with me, and you'll do what I'm wanting to do, because it is devastating of what happened to my daughter. And I can say one thing too, if you got, and I'm being honest, if you got a box of tissues, you ought to grab some. It is very, very heartbreaking to hear what I heard today. And I'm fighting the heartbroken side against the anger side, because I'm very angry of what I heard, and then what I know that's happened in the 12 years. And for a father to go through what I've gone through and deal with what I deal with, and see pictures and read documents, and then to hear what I heard today, and then to come up in here in Mackenzie's room and look at photographs and stuff. I don't know. All I can say is I guarantee you nobody knows how I feel. You couldn't even imagine what I feel. But I did promise you guys I would share everything with everybody. And I promised that I would get justice for my daughter. And I can guarantee you one thing. After tonight, I will guarantee you, you're going to see a father outraged. And I feel sorry for Fayette County. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play the tape. I'm not going to stop it or pause it or anything. I'm going to let it play completely out. At the end of this, then I'll discuss some things with you guys. And then also I'll answer anybody's questions from that. But please, whatever you do, please do not, and I'm begging, man, do not threaten the mother, boyfriend, or anything. You can call them whatever you want to call them, but do not make a threat. Because I want all my followers and everybody, and then trust me, it's hard. Don't think it ain't going through my mind what I want to do. But, especially after I heard what I heard today. So, to protect Mackenzie's Army and protect the live feed, just please, whatever you do, don't make any threats. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start the tape, and I want everybody to hear what was said to me today. And like I said, it's towards the end of the tape. All I can say is please, you'll need tissues. Anybody that loves Mackenzie as much as I love Mackenzie, you'll need tissues when you hear what I heard. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play. July 20th. Trying to find out is when they profiled Mackenzie's DNA in 2012, did they send that into CODIS or anything?
When they got her DNA or when they got the partial?
The partial DNA.
To see if there's a match? I don't know the answer to that. They should have, because that's what we do. But if we had a partial Y, I don't know the answer. I'll have to find out for you. Because the first time when we redid those swabs, first they didn't get anything, and then we redid them. Another lab did them, and then didn't get anything. And then we looked at them and got the Y chromosome. So we knew there had to be a male involved, but I don't know that there's actually. Well, it has to be a profile because somebody got compared to it.
Right.
Let me find out. I can't imagine it's not submitted because I think it's automated. But I'll find out later.
Okay. Now, when they did the zooming on her, and I know you did that one, and I know that the sheriff's office took the samples. They didn't let you guys take them back to Montgomery County. They took them.
Yes.
What was there you were looking for?
We were just getting new samples, new swabs.
Because the prosecutor told me that you guys were checking her body, the outer part of her body.
Well, we did that. That's just the reason. The only reason it was there was they wanted to do more DNA swabs, see if they get a better profile. My understanding, we did that. We looked at the outside of her body, but that's not why we were there. We were there to collect more swabs.
From the areas that you collected before when you first did it?
Yes.
Okay, now, why wasn't any x-rays done on my daughter?
There wasn't.
No, because I got the only report I ever got from you guys' office was the toxology report, and it showed no x-rays.
Well, the autopsy report, we don't put the x-ray in a report. You wouldn't see it. The doctor just sees it. If there are any findings, it's included in the autopsy report.
Uh-huh.
But in a fire death, we usually do x-rays, so give me 2 seconds, I can look.
Okay, yes, sir.
Hang on. Pulling up the file. Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
How do you spell your last name again?
Branham.
Okay.
And then hers was Mackenzie.
06, right?
06, April 27th.
I don't see, hang on one second. I don't see an x-ray copy in the folder at all, but I can't. We may not have done them because she's not, charged. But in a fire death, we usually do them in charge, but I could see no injury on her, so we may not have done them.
Well, my question with the x-rays, I mean, I know, like, looking at her on the outside, no injuries, but, you would think that our sheriff's office detective would have requested them just to make sure, her back wasn't broken, her...
That would have been, we look at all that. internally. So the sheriff's office would have nothing to do with. They could ask me, but they wouldn't know enough to ask me. That's my job.
Okay.
And, so I see. The only reason to do an X-ray is to find definitely, pieces of metal where she was stabbed or shot.
Right.
Because I'm looking at all the bones inside, and I can see if she's, all the other than some facial bones. The extremities with a minor fracture, I would see, I would see bruising over the side of fractures.
Right.
It's not, could you have missed a small something? Yes. Could I have interpreted a small something? No. I mean, wasn't she upstairs?
Yeah, she was upstairs on her bed. That's where she was found.
Yeah.
But no one could understand why she didn't get up.
Yeah.
And then I know you guys ruled it as, I guess it would be you guys.
Not a ruled manner.
Well, manner, I'm sorry. That she had 68% carbon monoxide and smoke.
Yeah.
But the 68% carbon monoxide, I can't understand how a child that small could have that much carbon monoxide in her.
Well, it happens very quickly. That's why. So not getting up is explainable because you can breathe in it. People base their breathing in smoke and never wake up. And it can get that high very quickly within 10, 15 breaths. If you're bringing enough concentration in, the carbon monoxide binds to the red blood cell exceedingly successfully. So it can get up high very quickly. That's actually a really high level.
Right. Wouldn't she though? Wouldn't she have stopped though? Because when I know people say don't ever Google stuff, but when I Google it said most children her size and weight at 35% she would have been dead.
That's not true. That is possible, but it's not necessarily true because the rate of rise can be very rapid. So it is true that they can die at that 30% level, but most of our cases are probably in the 50 to 60% this range. And it has to do with the fire, how much smoke and how much oxygen is being, how much carbon monoxide is being put out, and so in a normal accidental fire, you may have a smoldering scenario where you're breathing in that lower level and they die at 30-40%. But if you're breathing in if the fire is really intense very quickly,
right,
then it can get higher, which is the suggestion what this fire was. So
right,
the concentration is not something I put a lot of stock in because I don't think it matters because you can't really tell any much about the number itself.
Okay.
Once it's in that lethal range, we see 80%. It just whatever was going on with the fire in her caused that. I wouldn't really want to interpret a lot by that number and mean something.
Okay. Right. Well, what I know because it said on the toxicology report that she had smoke in her larynx.
Yes.
But it didn't say nothing about her lungs.
Well, because the smoke doesn't get that far. Typically, we look in the upper airways, the bronchus, and that's where the airways begin to get smaller. And the way the lungs are designed, if you breathe in an artificial substance, it forces these right turns, so to speak. So things get deposited as you go along, the airways get smaller and smaller. You don't really get it out to the lungs, far in the periphery.
Right.
Because the body's designed to filter it out, so to keep pollutants out of the lung tissue itself.
Right.
And then the other point, we just don't look, it's just sort of a standard statement. We don't look down deep. We're just trying to show that it's in there. We did the trachea and the upper bronchi, and once it's there, we know she's breathing in smoke.
Okay.
So it may not be mentioned just because it's not part of what we traditionally describe.
Right.
Because to communicate to another forensic pathologist, they just need to see that it's in the upper airways. It proves that it's been breathed in.
Now, what's the difference in a toxicology and a pathology test?
The toxicology is the blood work.
Right.
And then the autopsy report, I assume is what you mean by the pathology report. The autopsy report is my looking at the tissues.
Right.
The toxicology is what's done chemically on the blood to determine what's in there.
Okay.
There's really two reports. if you got our report, you got the autopsy report, which has an attached toxicology report.
The one I got, it says toxology only. I didn't see nothing where it said pathology.
You should have, well, maybe you only got the tox report, but you should also have the other report we release is a post-mortem exam report.
Okay.
So,
And that's the actual pathology one?
that's the autopsy report, yeah.
Okay. Now, what about like, why, okay, I'm not disregarding what you did or anything. I'm just asking questions.
Yeah, please, yeah.
Just like the, why, like, skin under the nails?
Why did we not look for that?
Yes.
We did when she comes back in, so we didn't look for that because it came in as just an accidental fire to us. We wouldn't do that. In 2006, we didn't do the swabs. After this case, we did it on almost all accidents. We just weren't doing it at the time because it's just with the house fire at home, accidental. We didn't have a concern, and that's why she came back here, because between the time that Dr. Gates sent her and the time we were doing the case, they discovered more information, and then he called back and said, hey, just do the swabs. So, no, brought her back to do the swabs. But in the beginning, when we were told about the case, it wasn't anything that you'd be more than a typical
right
accidental house fire.
Well, the sheriff told me he sent her to you guys, the sheriff and the coroner, because Vernon Stanforth, the sheriff was in the hospital with my daughter, with Dr. Gay when he was doing his primary examination. And he said all he did was look at her, and then he picked up her panties, looked down inside of them, put them back down, flipped her over, looked at, the buttocks area, put the panties back down. They sent her to you guys because our hospital don't have a morgue.
Well, that's correct.
And so when you guys got her, it was a body coming in as an accidental fire, and she sat there, and then you guys called them, our funeral people. They came and got her because there was no questions at that time about anything else. And then they brought her back to Fayette County, and then 3 hours later, they took her back to you guys, and then you guys started the criminal part.
Correct.
Correct.
We do currently, yes and no. It is true. We do look. I look for injuries and trauma to take it out of an accidental fire. So what we didn't do the swabs at that time because there are no injuries, and then a girl her age, and intact, reasonably intact.
Right.
Sexual assault should lead, I should be, from at least an adult, you should see that. There should be no trauma. It's possible, there are no penetration or something. And clearly we found the white chromosome, so something's going on. But, it's not, there's nothing. Because we thought it was an accidental fire doesn't mean we weren't looking to give us indications that it might be something else on her. But what I understand is the scene changed, and that's when they got suspicious, and they called us, Dr. Gay, asked if we did the swabs, and we said no, and that's when he sent her back.
Now, I saw where you guys said you swabbed her you swabbed the vagina area, the buttocks area, and the mouth.
Yeah.
And that was sealed in an envelope and sent to wherever it went, to your lab or whatever.
Yeah.
So that potential DNA came from one of those three areas.
Yeah.
And that was after you got more information about Mackenzie, and that's why she was sent back to you all, and then that's when you did the swabbing.
We didn't get Fayette County, someone decided it was a case of concern, and that's when Dr. Gay called us and asked if we already do swabs, and we said no, and he sent her back. We didn't do any investigation and got more information. They did. Somewhere in Fayette County, somebody got more concerned about the case.
Right.
Which could be. And that's when Gay called us and asked if we had done them. And because he had related I think when the case first came in, they had concerns, but they weren't related to us. And so we thought it was nothing more than a accidental fire.
Right.
When he called back he called back to make sure we had done the swabs. That's when he said, "Oh no, there's concerns here." And then we said, "Well, you got to send her back then because we weren't aware of concerns." Right.
Which is what the sheriff told me that was his error, was he shouldn't have listened to, his exact words was, I shouldn't have listened to Dr. Gay and that was my fault. We sent her as an accidental fire, which is what you just confirmed with me. And then because I asked him, why did she go to Montgomery County? Why did she come back to Fayette County? Why did she go back to Montgomery County? And then that's when the sheriff was explaining his, point of it. What I couldn't understand is why the sheriff was in the hospital room with my daughter when Dr. Gates doing his own, primary examination himself.
Yeah, I can't answer that. That's up to them to.
And then, like I said, also the sheriff pronounced her dead at the scene. See, Dr. Gay never went to the scene, to this crime scene, and saw my daughter and pronounced her dead. They met at the hospital with her.
Yeah, well, that's, whether it's right or wrong, that is the standard practice in most of rural Ohio. The coroners aren't, the law enforcement takes charge of a lot of the stuff, and then the body's moved to the hospital. Declaring dead, he's allowed to. I mean, she's clearly dead, and it's not, there wasn't a question about declaring, but, we wouldn't have allowed, we have full-time investigative staff here, so in our county, the coroner, my representative, the investigator would have been there before she's moved, but that's just not, that's not most of Ohio, because the coroner's offices don't have investigators, so law enforcement becomes that function. And then, he looked at her at the hospital. There's not a problem with that, but when he does that exam at the hospital, it isn't uncommon, or almost even standard for law enforcement, to be there to understand what the doctor's seeing for their investigation purposes.
All right.
It's not uncommon, and if you're, for law enforcement to be, like, law enforcement's often here. I can't remember if they were here for her. I doubt they were because it came as an accident. But typically cases that come in as homicides or potential homicides, there's an officer here during the autopsy because it allows for real-time exchange of information. Like, hey, I just see this injury. What do you guys know? It was not supposed to be here. And you can go back right away and interview the suspect or whoever with real information in real time.
Right.
It is normal practice for law enforcement to be with the coroner and during exams, just so they can communicate effectively in real time.
But see, that's what I don't understand either. No photographs were taken of my daughter at Fayette County Hospital by Dr. Gate.
Well, that's again, unfortunately common, particularly when they're sending the case in for an autopsy, because nothing would have changed. Nothing should have changed between the time he looks at her and then the time we're going to document it with photographs.
Right.
What the bad part of that is, it also often doesn't happen in a normal case that you're not sending for autopsy. And it's just a function of rural corner Ohio.
Right.
Should we do better? Yes. Have we grown a lot since 2006? Yes.
Well, that's why I was saying too. I was reading the laws, of a crime scene, which the fire marshal agreed with me. When it comes to a fatality in a fire, automatically you're supposed to treat it as a homicide and an arson, and then prove it accidentally.
Well, that is the standard. It's with most deaths. Yes, that should be the standard.
Right, and they didn't do it this way. Instead, they ruled it as an accidental, and then found out later it wasn't an accidental. Which, when that happens, a lot of the stuff. Because like when they brought my daughter out of the house, because I was reading the rules of Ohio, of a standard, procedures, what's common, what I call common. And the reason you rule it as an arson homicide, the fire marshal goes in to determine that fire. He tries to prove every reason that it wouldn't have been an accident. He has to make sure it wasn't electrical. He has to make sure, certain things, it wasn't this, that. Same thing with my daughter's body. It should have been ruled as a homicide until it was proven accidentally by the coroner's office. And they didn't do that. And my daughter, you're automatically supposed to place a body on a white sheet.
That's not true.
Because anything, when a body is burned, stuff falls off that body.
Well, yes.
And which could be evidence, like hair, somebody else's skin, anything, whatever was going on at the time when that person died. And that's so they could look at that sheet, because, white's easier to spot stuff that falls on it. But when you take my daughter they put her in a bag. You know, Marlowe's puts her in a bag and they send her to you guys. Then when they came and picked her up at Montgomery County and took her back, she put back in a bag. And those things were never, and I'm not saying you because you're not the investigator, that's the detective's job, but none of that was examined to see if anything fell off or any hair.
That's not true. I mean, it is true. When we get the bag in, we do look through the bag. So, yeah, by declaring it a homicide, they did not, I guess, declare it a homicide, but I think law enforcement and the coroner's office do look at those things. I don't think anyone puts the body on a white sheet. But we go through the bag. You know, we don't get a magnifying glass out and go through the bag, but we don't go through it with a magnifying glass on a white sheet from a homicide scene either.
Right.
So I hear what you're saying. I just don't think that error translated into poor performance. Now, could we have found? So we do go through the bag. If there was a big red fiber in it, we see that.
Right.
You know, so I don't know if there was an error done that it results in poor performance, if that makes sense. You know, certainly there is those risks, and because of where we are now, I can't tell you that there isn't a miss.
Right.
But I also think that the case was handled, you know, other than the gap of when I drew the samples to when we realized they weren't tested, that's a problem, you know, that I apologize to you for.
Right.
But other than that, I don't think...
But that's another thing, too. I know you're apologizing for the error of the 6 years there where the samples were taken in 2006 to
Right.
They were recognized in 2012. But the thing of it is, the leading detective should at least notified you and said, hey,
Well, I agree.
because here's the thing. You just said it yourself. They told you, hey, did you do swabs? And then you're like, no, we didn't do swabs. Well, we need to send the body back, and then they sent it back, and they did. So they knew they were there, and they knew what they were asking for, but then they waited another 6 years to ask you for the samples.
I can't argue with that logic. It should have been picked up. And so the normal, I think, if I told you, the normal process is we do not submit those swabs. We collect them, and then that's the other reason why law enforcement is present. We give whatever evidence to the law enforcement people, so they have the chain of custody, and then they turn it into the laboratory. So when the laboratory gets a report, it goes back to law enforcement. What happened in your case is we turned the swabs in, they were looked at, and had a positive result, but no one ever got that report because it went back to my coroner's office, and since we're the same building, it just got filed. You are absolutely correct. They knew it was going to be here and turned in, so why wouldn't an investigator say, hey, you know, it's been a year, where did you not get swabs in that case? I can't answer why that didn't happen.
Right. I mean, well, I'm just saying, they asked for them, and then they didn't. It's like they almost didn't follow up and didn't care. Okay, well, we asked for it because there was a reason they asked for it, because there was something suspicious at the crime scene.
It would have changed things if someone had followed up, including myself, at least on a timing perspective.
Right.
The interviews, you're absolutely 100% correct, and that's what I take part of the responsibility. We do it here and let it sit as well. It's just we went outside routine by trying to be helpful because the body had already left, and we did those swabs. The coroner's office has submitted them directly to the crime lab, which is just across the hall, and that is not normal process. So when it's just, you know, detectives are used to just the report just shows up. They're not used to thinking, hey, I had that case 6 months ago and I never got a report. It should have happened. It's just outside of routine, and that's where we got the ball.
And see, that's another thing too. You even said, you know, the sheriff was at your office. You knew who he was, and he was there. And still, even when they were there on other reasons, they still didn't even ask for him.
Yeah, I don't know how often Fayette County comes over, but law enforcement does come over. But I'm sure they're here. Yeah, I'm sure they were here on other cases at some point. Somebody was detective.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. I just, like I said, when they sit there and they ask for something, and there was a reason they asked for it, and then then they don't turn around and they wait 6 years before they ask for it again.
I totally appreciate what you're saying, but I don't want you to lose sight of the fact that we did do, it took 6 years, but every testing that would have been done, and in some sense you could argue there was more testing done because we were so much better by 2012 at DNA detection. There is a good argument to say in 2006 we may not have found what we found because we weren't as good as we were in 2012 at looking for small degraded DNA fragments. The flip side of this argument is, if we had done it, would we have gotten the same results because we weren't as technically savvy 6 years earlier? I don't know the answer to that, but I do know is I think we got to the same endpoint, most likely.
But see, that's another thing, is them running it into, putting it in a CODIS, because like I said, they're telling me, well, we're running everybody's DNA with this sample and CODIS, but then they ain't ran nobody's but mine. I'm the father, and they only ran mine.
I don't know if I'll have to find out for you. I can't imagine it hasn't been submitted.
Right.
But I will find out a definitive answer for you.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Yep.
And then we already asked about the X-rays, so I know about them.
I don't know. I don't have documentation of that. Now, in 2006, I'm not sure we were taking pictures. Like right now, we do an X-ray, we capture that digital file, and it goes into our picture file. In 2006, I don't know. So I may have it on a different. It may actually be in her case file. So I'll find out about CODIS. And it appears I did not take X-rays. If I did, I'll let you know.
Okay, but it appears you didn't.
It appears I did not. And like I said, because I'm going to see with the exam 90% of the bony structures, and I didn't have a concern for, tip of a knife or a bullet, other metal that I would need this X-ray to find.
Right.
Because I could see that she has no open wounds.
Now, if they would have said, we found her, I don't know how the detectives talk to you guys, because I know in most cases, usually a detective goes to the coroner when you're doing your stuff. A lot of times they take their own photographs. There's a reason they take their photographs, and you guys take yours, and the fire marshal takes his. There's a reason for those, why they do, because everybody's a detective, and everybody that's...
We actually don't allow that here.
You don't allow it?
We do not allow it. We take one set of photographers. We have one photographer, one camera in the room at a time. We don't allow the detectives to take their own pictures here during the autopsy. At the crime scene, you're right, they take their set, fire marshal does their set.
Right.
In the autopsy, we don't, because we have professional photographers. We have people that's all they do, and they take one set and then we just make copies for everybody.
Right.
Okay.
Can I ask you another question real quick? Why did they do the exhuming at the fire station? Why didn't they take her to the hospital where it was more sanitized?
Well, sanitized is, there is no concern of, if you mean sanitized as respectful, I think they treated it as a respectful area. I can't answer why they did it at the fire station. I can guarantee you a hospital wouldn't allow it in. For risk of, I lack a better word, for risk of it creating a air quality, smell problem. It's not going to go to a hospital, I guarantee you. It's just never going to happen.
Well, when they exhume bodies, I know that it's very rare when they do that. But when they do it, where do they mostly do that at?
Well, my experience is because I was only when I'm involved, and they come here. We come to the coroner's office. State County doesn't have it, so I guarantee you it was just a cost. It was a cost to transport to a mortuary environment. So their options were to go to a funeral home or to a big open space, which is the firehouse, where it can be done quickly. I assume it was close to where she was buried at, so they could exhume her.
The Morrow's funeral home, where my daughter was, where we did her viewing and everything,
right,
was right 2 houses down from the fire station.
Yeah, well, they may not have had, the funeral may have said no, or they had a service going on. I don't know the answer.
Right. I'm just cautious about like a defense attorney. saying, oh, okay, they did it in a fire station, you know, where you pull trucks in and out and people, and I mean, I don't know how the scene was set up there as far as how they all did the exhuming.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't know, like, did you guys take her out of the coffin and set her on a table, and then...
I can tell you, just hang on, let me put you back on speaker 1 second.
Okay.
I have, just reorganized my office and my phone is too far away from my computer. I gotta figure this out. I don't know the answer, if they took her out of the casket or not. So yeah, I have photographs. I think what I gave you got them. Did you get them?
I got the photographs from the where you at your place when you at Montgomery County.
Okay.
I didn't get no photographs from the exhuming.
There is a set that we did. I know. I don't know if they took her out of the casket or not. They examined her, and the things with her are inventory. So I can't answer if they took her out of the casket or not.
So you didn't do the...
I personally did not do it.
You did not personally do the samples?
Dr. Allen, I think it was Dr. Allen, I think Dr. Brown now married me, went there with one of our autopsy techs, is my recollection.
You mean somebody else from Fayette County did the samples?
No, my office. There's 7 doctors here.
Oh.
I think I was unavailable the day they were going to do it. So
Okay.
Another doctor went and did it. A woman doctor.
A woman. Oh, so you wouldn't even know then who was there or nothing, right?
Correct.
I mean, you wouldn't have known who was all standing there when it was done.
I would not. Yes, I don't know.
Now, that would be, because I know you said something about the Fayette County's the one that took the samples.
Well, we took the samples from her, and then they took custody of them, is my understanding.
At the scene.
We didn't keep them.
Right. They took custody of them at the scene.
I think they they took custody of them, I think, because they use BCI now.
Right. Well, that's where they said they sent them.
Yeah.
Was to BCI because, and I didn't understand that neither. You're familiar with this case and everything. You knew where the samples, you collected the samples the first time. I don't understand why they didn't send the samples back to you guys, because you guys would have had the answers within 3 to 4 weeks instead of 8 months.
We are a little faster than BCI, but then again, they don't pay us, so they use BCI because it's free.
So it's not.
I think it's a cost issue if it's free, and then the other issue is I don't think we have we haven't earned a lot of their respect over this case.
Hasn't earned whose respect?
I think the sheriff at that time, at least in 2012, I don't know if it's the same sheriff, I think it is, but
It is.
Was not happy with us for having that report for 6 years and not knowing it.
Okay, but then again, they didn't ask for the report either in 6 years.
I understand that. I'm just saying I don't think there's any love lost, because I think he blamed some of the grief he suffers on us for having a 6-hour delay. Which, right or wrong, it's my fault. I mean, it happened, but I think he's going to go to BCI now.
What do you mean by 6-hour delay?
6-year delay.
Oh, 6 years delay. But like I said, the leading detective is the one who notified you guys and said, did you guys notified Gay. Gay asked if you took samples. You said no. Then the body came back here. The thing of it is, if the detective already knew this, then that tells me there was a lack of communication between the detective and Dr. Gay, because he never said the body as an accidental. And then, because it was only within hours of this happening, where she went to your guys' facility to be picked up, brought back to Fayette County, and then 3 hours took back to Montgomery County.
Well, you're right, and I think but in some sense they knew before they sent her that Gay should have communicated the concern to us.
Right.
Right away, it just wasn't,
Right, and then, like I said, the detectives are the ones that was asking for swabs, and then, but then, like I said, he always wants to pin this on it. I mean, I know my sheriff, man. He wants to pin everything on everybody else, just like now he's blaming all the dead, Dr. Gay's dead, the leading detective's dead, and now he's blaming them for not questioning witnesses, not doing this, not collecting evidence out of Mackenzie's room, not taking photos. He's blaming everybody but himself. But he's the one that was the lead person at the crime scene. He's the one who pronounced my daughter dead at the crime scene. He's the one who followed the body to the morgue, or to our hospital, and was in the room with Dr. Gay. And if it was a concern, he would have been telling Dr. Gay right then.
Yeah, I certainly will accept my part in the decision, and I think the autopsy case was done the same way I would have done it had I known there was a concern, other than collecting the swabs. And 3 hours later doing it, I don't think we missed anything other than she was washed. So if there had been something external, we missed that, which is...
So she was washed?
She's washed, so yeah, but part of the autopsy, she gets cleaned up before she leaves here, so...
So when you first got her, the first time you got her, before Morrow picked her up, you guys washed her?
Yeah, if had I known it, the only thing different I would have done is that's when we collect the swabs and we look at her externally to see if there's anything we need to swab externally before we clean her. If we do that for injuries and then we clean her, we do the case of clean her again. So everything we got on the swabs, though, is internal. So
right. So by external, what do you mean by that? On the outside?
Everything we got on her was from an internal swab.
Internal, what's that mean?
The swab is inside, being in her mouth, whatever.
Right, okay. So now I see what you're saying.
That step never changed from her being here and getting washed. We're not affecting that. Internally it's still the same.
Right.
So nothing has been, you know what I'm saying? The only thing we lost because of me not having that information is a chance to look and see if there's external evidence that I should have collected.
Right. And that's because she went to your guys' facility as an accidental patient, which means she just, you guys do your basic things and then clean her up, and then the Bureau picks her up to take her, and then that's when you got the call saying something else, and then it was bring her back.
Correct.
And
so the swabs, and I may not have collected anything externally, but I would have looked.
Right. Well, you didn't know to look.
I didn't know to look. But that, in some sense, what you said earlier is also true, that these cases are treated like homicides.
Right.
We did treat it with suspicion, but most fire deaths are normal homicides, and then the body is burned or the house is burned to cover it up. They're not killed by the fire.
Right.
This is a little unique in that she was alive and somebody was trying to hide the sexual assault potentially. They didn't strangle her, they didn't shoot her, they didn't stab her, and then burn the house. They set the house on fire around her.
Right.
For whatever reason. So that makes it already unique. So nothing, I don't know that I don't know that I missed anything, although I would have looked externally probably closer had I known this is the potential. This is what we're looking for.
Right. Like I said, I don't blame you. I don't blame you because, like I said, the investigators down here should have, they knew. They known what was going on. They knew. And like I said, they knew that samples were there, and they still didn't ask for them for 6 years until, and I'll be honest with you, until I started bitching. Until I started getting mad as a father, like, what the hell's going on here? Because they didn't even ask for my DNA or anybody's DNA until 2012.
Right.
That's when they started collecting our DNA.
Well, because they didn't know they had anything to compare it to.
Well, you had it in 2006, but no one, it wasn't.
Right, they didn't know it was there. That's what I'm saying. The only thing that changed is that we would have moved up the timeline, but everything happened that would have happened. It just what happened in 2006.
Right. All right, well, if you could find out about the x-rays and the CODIS, I would appreciate that.
I'll do it. Shouldn't take me long.
All right, buddy. And I thank you, man, for taking the time to talk to me and explain things to me. I'm just, like I said, man, I'm just trying to find out what went, why this is 12 years and not 3 months, and it was over.
I understand. Help you any way I can.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye.
Alright, everybody. Like I said at the end of the tape there, he explained the fire and why my daughter's fire was set. And he said because my daughter's case was a unique case where she wasn't stabbed, shot, or anything like that. Instead, she was alive, and they set the fire around her and set the fire to destroy the sexual assault. And that's where they got the DNA was in from internal. So now I know for a fact, 100%, that Mackenzie Branham was raped. She was raped, and the motive of the fire was because she was raped. And they set that house on fire. And there ain't a person out there that can tell me that that mother did not know who raped my little girl. And she cannot sit there and tell anybody that she don't know who set that fire. And like I said, for Fayette County to sit there and keep saying this was a #1 priority and we were working on it every day, then how in the hell did the detectives that requested swabs in certain areas because they knew something that they found at the crime scene led to that, and then the swabs are taken, and then they waited 6 years to ask where those samples were? Like he said, they could have asked in a year. They could have asked that same month. They knew. They already knew what happened. And then that's why that lady that was on my live feed that has to do with forensics said that my daughter wasn't in a sleeping position. Now I know why she wasn't in a sleeping position. I'm upset and I'm hurt because, you know, no father wants to hear that your child was raped and then the house was set on fire to make sure. And that explains the splash patterns going up the stairs. That explains why my daughter was trapped. Even if she would have got up off the bed, she was trapped. She wasn't coming out of that house. And for a mother to sit there and allow somebody to do something to my little girl and allow them to set a fire to kill her, and then sit here and tell everybody that my daughter died in peace. No, my daughter didn't die in peace. And honestly, I honestly don't know what to do. I really don't. Because, you know, like I said, as a father, you don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear why she died. To cover up somebody that was in that room doing stuff to my child. And honestly, I don't know. I don't even know. I mean, I had a hunch because of what Vernon said to me in my driveway when he told me I didn't need a lawyer. I didn't know what kind of DNA it was. But I didn't have facts. I didn't have the proof. I don't even know what to say. I really don't.
He knows and he's doing nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And that is disappointing. Jamie, my brother-in-law, sent me a thing where Vernon last week was all up in Colorado with all the sheriffs to teach them stuff and everything else and investigate. I didn't read it all. It makes my stomach turn. But there again, he was in Colorado, and here we are trying to find out who killed Mackenzie Taylor Branham, and he's in Colorado. Anything he can do to get power and to get people to like him. And this is the whole reason we started the Mackenzie memorial fund was so that I could get the money to shut down Vernon Stanford. He needs to answer for what he did. He needs to answer for what he ain't doing now. Like I said, he's the sheriff. He knew what was going on that whole time. He was at the coroner with the coroner the night of my daughter went to Fayette County Hospital. His wife knew what was going on. And they even knew it because of her own testimony. She was already pointing a finger at me. So she already knew there was something wrong before my daughter even left Fayette County Hospital. But it's so hard to hear that this was and now I understand why the fire marshal said what he said. There would never be another fire like this. And that when they finally come to tell me what really happened to my daughter in that room, he didn't want my wife, my kids, or anybody here. They were going to bring people here when they told me because it would be enough to put me through the ceiling. And he's late now telling me. I already know now what happened to my daughter. So, we know it's a male. He did not say it was white, black, green, oriental, anything. He said it was a male because of the Y chromosomes proved that it was a male's DNA. And we all heard the tape last night. What I don't want to say mother anymore. She's not a mother. I don't want to say mother. Egg donor is what I think everybody calls her. To sit there and tell us that she went upstairs and kissed her goodnight. She didn't kiss my baby goodnight. She kissed my baby goodbye. And I'm telling you, that's what happened. And now I know why William and her and Kenny try to shut this investigation down by taking me to court and trying to get a gag order on me. I know now why that happened and why only 3 people come off that elevator. And we all know that William failed the lie detector test twice. We also know that William told the sheriff's office to get a warrant for his DNA. So we don't know yet if his DNA ever was collected or not collected. But if they told him to go get a warrant, by God, they should have went and got a warrant, and went and got it. Because anybody that tells somebody to go get a warrant to get their DNA tells me you're guilty of something. Like I said, I wanted to share this with everybody because I know it's going to take me a couple of days to get myself together for what I heard. Because like I said, I'm the one that has to stare at these pictures and look at my baby girl here. And now I know that she was raped. And Fayette County didn't care. Because if they cared, they would have collected those samples May 9th when they found them. Mm-hmm. And they'd have moved on this, and they would have been collecting DNA right off the bat, not 12 years later, or 6 years later, asking for people's DNA. And now the sheriff's office pissed at Montgomery County because why? Because they're telling the truth of what really happened. Because they're admitting that when they dropped the ball, and they did wrong. And you heard him right there say, I apologize to you, Mr. Branham. You know, I mean, I understand he apologized, but there's no sorry for what happened. But Vernon has never apologized. Never apologized, never said, Mr. Branham, we are sorry. And I've asked them to fix this. And they didn't want to fix it. And now, not only do I have a homicide, an arson, but I also have a rape. So, Man, I don't know what to say.
I don't either, man.
I have nothing.
Man, all this time they done nothing.
So, you guys understand why I'm doing what I do. I hope you understand why. I hope you understand why I fight so hard for my baby girl. And we got these little assholes that come in on my live feeds and stuff to stir things because they know how close I am to this. They know, in my opinion, if it was me, I would be going and getting 2 people and they would be coming back to the sheriff's office and they would not be leaving that sheriff's office until I had an answer. But now I know why. That biggest thing. Why ain't, everybody asks, why ain't the mother fighting for justice for her daughter? Now you know why.
We know why.
Now the answer's out to why she's not fighting for justice. It's because she knows what happened to her little girl that night. She knows, and we can't let this go neither, that there is a person of interest. And because we don't know. We don't know if that person came there and was going to have, I hate to, you know, have sex with my daughter for exchange for drugs. We don't know if somebody else did. We don't know if they were using Mackenzie for, and I hate, oh my God, man, for soliciting. You don't know. We don't know what the purpose was. We do know that there was sexual done to her. And I'm so disappointed in my county because they failed my little girl. And not only did the sheriff's office, but also did children's services. Because they knew stuff like this was going on. And they knew the person that failed lie detector test was already mentioned for doing stuff. And they didn't protect her. And now it's all they want to do, all of them want to do is point the finger at the other agencies. Well, they should have done it. No, they should have done it. No, they should have done it. And like I said, her true colors are showing. And you know, that might have been why my daughter might have known what was going to happen to her that night. And that might be why she was calling her aunts and then asking to go spend the night. She didn't want to be there that night for whoever was going to come there. And I believe she was going to tell me what was going on. And I honestly believe now, I do, that maybe there's a possibility my daughter was being used sexual
trafficking or whatever.
So you guys out there, man, we have a serious case here. We have a serious murder case here. We not only have a child that was burned, we don't only have a child that was murdered. We have a child that was raped before she was murdered and the house set on fire. And for that woman to know the things that happened to her kids that was going on, to and now I can sit here and say what I've been saying for a little while about the hesitation, the 20 minutes. They did not want Mackenzie to come out of that house the way she did. And that's why that witness said to me, when I looked over at her, she was sitting on a porch and she looked more scared than she did grieving of Mackenzie's death, because she thought to herself, "Oh, did we mess up somewhere?" When they were loading. Now I know why she wasn't at the ambulance. I know why, because she did not want to see that child alive. And that's why Mike Stiegel was at the back of the ambulance. He was there to clarify that she was dead. And then that all started. It all started right there to covering this up. And I need people. I need people. I want to set a date shortly. Like I said, my daughter's thing is the April 27th is when she was murdered, raped, and set on fire. And that's coming up. I'm sorry, you got to. I mean, it's hard to. But I think we need to get together in front of the sheriff's office and ask why. We need to ask why. And he needs to answer us. He don't need to hide in the buildings. He don't need to close his blinds. He needs to answer. I want to be there first thing in the morning, and I don't want to leave until he comes out of that damn door. I'll probably post a date on a private page or some way, because I don't want him to know we're coming. I don't want him to know that we're going to show up, because then he can, disappear, maybe go to Colorado again. So I don't want that, you know what I'm saying? I don't want that to happen. I want I just want it to be a surprise when we show up and we want answers and we demand answers. Like I said, this is very hard to deal with. And he needs to answer why I had to solve my own child's death. He needs to answer that to me. Why I had to do what I did in 12 years. Why I had to uncover the truth about my child. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to play a song. And then I'll finish up. We'll finish it up with people. You guys can ask me questions and stuff. And I just need to breathe a little bit. So I want to go ahead and play a song. If we can, I like to pump some hearts for Mackenzie to let her know that we our hearts are breaking for her for getting this news tonight. And like I said, my daughter guides me the way that she wants me to guide her. So I want to pump hearts tonight for her.
For that little child with no father, for that man that doesn't have a place to stay, and for that little boy living with AIDS. Can I tell you a story, you can lean on me. There's a man, standing on the corner. He has no home, he has no food, and his blue skies are gone. Yes, it is. Can you hear him crying now?
There's a girl searching for a father and a friend.
say your tears.
Your tears. I'll be there in a hurry when you call.
Yes, I will.
Friends are there to catch you when you fall.
Here's my shoulder.
Here's my shoulder, you can lean on me.
Listen.
Oh, there's sunshine. Oh, we're sick and begging to be free. But there is no cure for his disease. He looks up to his mother. Praying that someday the sun will shine again.
And the pain?
And the pain
Pain will end.
I am here. I am here. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. I see your tears. Your tears, yeah. I'll be there in a hurry. I'll be there. Friends are there. I'm your friend. I'll catch you when you fall. Here's my shoulder. You can lean on me. Tell me how can I love Jesus when I've never seen his face? Yeah, I see you tired and turn and walk away. So hold my hand.
Let me take you to a friend of mine that's waiting just to ease your troubled mind. Yeah. He loves you more than you'll ever know. Instead of walking away, open up.
Open up your heart, I say.
Come on.
I am here. I am here. You don't have to worry. I can see your tears. You can lean on me. When you call, free to be there to catch you when you fall. Here's my shoulder to you. Can lean on me. Here's my shoulder, you can lean on me.
Lean on me, yeah.
Here's my shoulder, you can lean on me.
You're my friend, but you're also my brother. Here's my shoulder. You can lean on. Hallelujah.
All right, everybody. I got one thing to say to Vern and P. Stanforth. You try to hide secrets, and me and my little girl were stronger, and I did it. So now I know everything about my child and what happened. And I'm coming stronger than I have ever came. You don't understand the news I got today, what that did. And I knew my daughter was going to direct me the right way. She knew what she was doing. She knows, how much I can handle. And she knows I'm coming. I told you guys 2018, man, I'm coming. And if I can't get the ones that did this, I'll get the ones that covered it up. One way or another, I'm coming. And I'm telling you right now, that Michael Aaron Radcliffe, I promise you, you do not want to cross me. You do not want to go out here and tell people you're going to kick my ass. You do not want to show up in my house. I guarantee you that. So, and all you out there that run your mouth about me and bash me and say it's about money, and you know what? It is. It is going to be about money, because I'm going to sue the hell out of Fayette County. And I mean, I'm going to sue. And I don't care who it, I don't care. I don't care if this takes food off their table. I don't care. What I have been through for 12 years, and what I've had to do, and what I've had to look at, and what I had to search, and what I had to hear, I don't care. I don't care. You know, I knew in my gut, man, there was some big secret. I knew it. And now I know that secret. And he's right. The fire marshal's right. It would hurt, and it would send me through my ceiling. But I've come a long ways in 12 years. And I've become a better person in 12 years. And I have fought like hell for my daughter, Mackenzie Taylor Branham. And now, you, the Record Herald, calling her an it, the disrespect that you gave my child, and Vernon calling her an it. That's why they sent it to the morgue. That, you'll eat those words. You'll eat those words. And like I said, a lot of errors were made, not mistakes. Because mistakes, you don't make that many mistakes on a homicide of a little girl. Errors were made. I got one person on there apologizes to me. He is so, and I believe it. I honestly believe this man when he talks to me. He is so devastated too. And it's good that Mackenzie and God has put their hand on his heart for him to come forward with this information and to give me the things I needed. Because like I said, he did tell me when I talked to him the first time what a father I was, and he could understand why I'm fighting as hard as I am for justice, and he would do anything to help. And now I understand why Vernon was at my house, and I understand why every time I mentioned something about the mother, he would make an excuse for her. I can tell you right now, and this is a God's honest truth, Vernon don't want them arrested, because she and he are going to blame the one who's dead. But it also puts that deputy there that night. And he don't want that out. So instead, he's going to play the game of I'll hide the secrets. But he never ever thought, and I'm going to say what he thinks I am. He never ever thought that this dumb redneck hillbilly with an 8th grade education would ever come as far as I did. He underestimated me. But I told them all that that was my little girl. And that was the mistake. When she died, they did not know what they did. And that I would do what I could. And I haven't stopped. And I've hit a lot of roadblocks. I've had that mother attack me more than I've ever been attacked. She's got people convinced that she's so innocent. Well, here you go, you people that think she's so innocent. You explain to me. Why don't you come to my house and explain to me how in the world a mother that knows that already, you remember her stories, she put herself at that house that whole day.
Never left.
Whole day.
Never left.
Never left. Didn't feed my child. And let somebody go up there and have sex with my child. And because my daughter was going to tell it, it cost her life. And they set that house on fire to shut her up. Now, Vernon P. Stanforth, I swear to God as my witness, you better never, ever say you don't have a person of interest or a suspect. I'm telling you, I better never hear those words out of your mouth. And the prosecutor to sit there and say, oh, no big deal, we don't know if this guy even exists. Go find him. But you don't want to. I'm going to find this guy. Whatever it takes, I'm going to find this guy. I will find this guy. And if he clears, it leaves me 2 people. And I'm going to tell you right now, I've never demanded anything like I've ever demanded, but I guarantee you I'm going to demand that DNA better be checked. And I better see paperwork. Man, they tell me, well, hey, fuck your public records. You know what? I don't care about none of that shit anymore. You owe me answers. I don't care. Quit. Every time you hide something, I'm going to find it. And I've done it. I've done it for 12 years. And now I find out my daughter was officially, fact, raped. And you're sitting there telling me my daughter, just what, a month ago, still said she's a #1 priority. Yep. But you're in Colorado all last week. And you still got witnesses you ain't even spoke to.
Nope.
I'm done. I'm done. You know what? I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to start. Seriously. If I can't raise the money to get a lawyer, I will sell everything I got because I've got to have a lawyer. I have got to sue the shit out of Fayette County. And I mean sue them. Because obviously, they don't care what we're doing. And I've got the evidence. Trust me, overwhelming evidence. Overwhelming of evidence. My lawyer won't even have to collect one thing. I've already got it. All he's got to do is walk in there and present it and file the lawsuit. I want to file a criminal lawsuit. I want to charge them. And then I want to file a civil lawsuit. And now that I know today, with only a week away from her 12-year anniversary, that my daughter was raped, I swear to God, they better not show up there at my daughter's grave. Mm. When I do that balloon launch.
Not a good idea.
No.
Not a good idea.
I'm telling you guys. And now, she knows what happened to my Mackenzie. She knows. And still, ain't even fighting for justice. Ain't telling the sheriff, why ain't you taking DNA? That tells me she knows. She knew exactly what happened to that baby that night. She knows why the fire was set. She's scum. She's scum.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice word for it, yeah.
She's scum. But there's even a bigger scum. And that's the one that covered it up.
Yep.
That baby had no reason to go through what she went through. And then she has no reason to go through it again by not getting justice. They had the people. They had them. They had them. And for 12 years, they've been free. For 12 years, they've been free. I'm mad. I'm mad. And I think the hurt ain't there yet. And when the hurt kicks in, I'm trying to be calm. Because I don't want, I'm trying to be honest. Because I want people to know what my daughter's story. I don't know what else. all I can say is I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry that this happened. To Mackenzie. I tried everything I could as a father. I fought these courts. I fought that visitation center that Joy Stanforth was in charge of. I fought. I did. I never, ever failed my children. I fought hard for my children. And I know my little girl was protecting me, and I hate that point. I do. Because I believe this was going on longer than just up that night only. And I know she wasn't going to tell me during the time, because she knew me. She knew what I would do. And she protected her daddy. She did. She protected me from being in prison the rest of my life. And now it's my job to protect her. It's my job to get her justice and protect her name. So, you guys bit off more than you'll ever be able to chew. I'm coming. And I'm telling you right now, the best thing anybody could do is don't run your fucking mouth to me and tell me I didn't have nothing to do with my children. Because I'm telling you right now, it ain't a threat. It's a promise. I'm going to knock you the fuck out. Like I said, back when I started this, people got on there, ran their mouths. I got names. I don't need to mention the names. I hope they're watching. And I hope they're sitting there and listening to what we all just heard. And I hope they get a change of heart. But I can tell you one thing. Mary Ann is the devil.
The whole crew.
So, I'm going to get with everybody on when I'm going to do this. Because like I said, honestly, there's nothing left to find out. There's really not, other than who the male is. But as far as who set the fire, we know. But for that person to sit there at their house, crawl in that bed with that man, knowing what they did and knowing what happened to my daughter that night, and to hold that name and not tell anybody who was at her house, she's going to rot in hell, is all I know. There is no heaven for her. I'm going to go ahead and end this. Like I said, I wanted everybody to hear this and stuff. I'm going to play another song just so everybody, you know, that's how Mackenzie loved music. She loved God. She loved Jesus. And she's safe now. I can say that. My baby's safe. Even though I'd rather have her here and I was protecting her. But she is safe. But I can tell you one thing. Those males, and I've got their names rolled up on the board and everything. I'm coming. I'm coming. And you're going to give a DNA. One way or another, I'm going to get your DNA. And you're going to also answer to why this happened and why it went the way it went. You owe me that. You owe me that. Because you can forget about it now. We ain't going to talk to the dad because, you know, there's a possibility he might sue. No, there ain't no possibility. I'm suing. I'm suing. And I'm going to sue. I'm going to say it. I'm going to sue Fayette County. So, the talking and thinking if I'm going to do it, now, as soon as I can get a lawyer, I'm done. You're done. And I guarantee you, I'll win.
No doubt.
Yep.
So, be prepared, is all I got to say. You're only elected officials, but there's still always somebody above you. So, hopefully I can get going and get to Washington, D.C. and do what I got to do there. And then it's going to start. But Fayette County, you screwed up. And I'm coming. I'm madder than I've ever been mad in my life. I'm telling you right now. And I'm coming strong. And so is Mackenzie's army. I'm just grateful that I got to share this with you guys. Like I said, they might want to keep secrets, but I'm not going to. A lot of people knew Mackenzie. A lot of people went to school with Mackenzie. A lot of people love my daughter. And you guys deserve it as much as I do. We're all fighting in this. And I guarantee you by the end of 2018, you will see stuff happening. I can guarantee you that. So, we know now everything that happened to my daughter. We know why it happened. We know why with the carbon monoxide percentage was high. It was because of the toxics in the air, and that was because of what kind of fire was set and how big it was, and there was more that put more toxic in the air. So we all understand this was intentionally. That's why it says on her death certificate, intentional blaze. That's why it says homicide. And now we know the motive of the fire. We know why it was set. And the whole purpose of it was for Mackenzie not to come out of there. And like I said, I can prove that with all the, where they hesitated to let anybody know she was in there. I love everybody. I'm going to need a little time to let this all, but I promise you guys, I told you guys, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to stop. And I'm proud. Like I said, I'm proud of me. And I know my daughter, and that's all that matters, is Mackenzie knows she's proud of her daddy. And she knows who she wanted. She knew to come to me. She knew I would do this. And she's proud of me. And she's proud of what I've accomplished. And so everybody out there that wants to say whatever about me, you got, like I said before, kiss my ass. Because that's what you can do. You can kiss my ass. Me and my daughter knew exactly what we were going to do when she came to me. And I've done a pretty good job. Like I said, no father wants to ever go through their daughter's murder. But that's what we're supposed to do. And I did it. And I'm going to keep doing it. Now I know why. Now I know why all the cops were at the courthouse. When I got off the elevator, and there was 9 cops there, and they said they were there because they were informed that I was this monster type person. Well, of course, if I'd have known this, and those 3 people walked out of the elevator, so now I know why all those cops were there. I know why she went to the sheriff's office first before she went to the courtroom, to the courthouse. And now I know why they rode up the elevator with me, and why they got off the elevator with me, and then when I get off the elevator, there's all these cops. Now I know why. Now I know why the cop said what he said to me. We're really, very familiar with what's going on here. Hell yeah.
They were there with the monster, just not you.
They knew it.
Yeah. Now I know why. And I know my daughter knew something was going on that night, or was going to happen. Like I said, she made phone calls. She tried to spend the night with people and stuff to get out of that house. So I know what was going on. So I'm sorry, you guys, like I said, to bring this to you guys, but I think you deserve it. And I hope now this makes you feel more towards getting justice for my daughter. And like I said, now I'm backing it 100%. I hope that people will help with the justice for Mackenzie's Memorial Fund, because I need that money to push now harder than I've ever pushed. And I need to make stuff happen now. Yesterday and today is already, I'm behind. I gotta move forward. So I hope that everybody will help out with that for me. Trust me. Mike DeWine, look out, because here I come. Here I come. You're the one whose agency went down to Children's Services and said they did nothing wrong. So, yeah, I can prove that one wrong. So be prepared, state of Ohio. You just caused one hell of a tiger to come out. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen. So, like I said, I love everybody. I'm going to go ahead and play another song, because that's what Mackenzie likes. She likes her songs. And anybody out there wants to contact me in Messenger or help out with anything, just let me know.
Place here, I command you to leave in Yeshua's name. Spirit of fear, you have no place here. I command you to leave in Jesus' name. You're not welcome here. So go. No place here, I command you to leave in Yeshua's name. Envy and jealousy, you have no place here, I command you to leave in Jesus' name. And go back from whence you came. I got lazy. We claim this ground in Yeshua's name, 'cause our God reigns. Our God reigns. Our God reigns. The battles are won, have no fear, 'cause God reigns here. I command you to live in Yeshua's name. Depression, anxiety, addiction, infirmity, I command you to live in Jesus' name. And go back from whence you came. Our God reigns. We claim this crown in Jesus' name, 'cause our
right, thank you guys tonight. I love every one of you guys. I hope you support Mackenzie, and we're gonna make this happen. Like I said, it's a sad night for me, especially within a week of her 12-year anniversary of her death. But I thank everybody out there that has been behind this and has helped me find people that were people of interest. Hopefully we'll get that sketch and post it where it looks a little better of that person of interest too that we're looking for that was there that night. It's a heartbreaking story, but actually all of it's heartbreaking to what happened to Mackenzie that night. So God bless you guys. I love every one of you guys, and we'll get this. I promise you, we'll get this. We're there, and now people need to answer to us. So I love every one of you guys. I do, with the bottom of my heart. I love every one of y'all. Thank you.